If you're already a legal nurse consultant or you're a nurse who is wondering more, wanting to learn more about legal nurse consulting, one of the things that you've probably found very difficult to find on the internet is what actually goes into a good chronology. Well, I'm going to tell you that today. I'm going to walk you through what exactly should be going into a very good, high quality, top tier chronology. Now, what I'm not going to do is share my templates with you. I'm not going to show you an example because you get all that if you decide to join Catalyst. But what I am going to do is walk you through the real information that we put into our chronologies that our attorneys constantly rave about. So let's go ahead and get started without any more further ado, huh? Okay, so I've got my little trusty iPad here, and I'm going to just kind of sketch this out for you. And I know my handwriting's horrible. No need to tell me about it in the comments. I know my wife tells me all the time. But here's some important things that you're going to want to know as you're creating your chronology. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to definitely want to do is to have a date. Now this date here, let me just do this. I'm just going to draw this across here, and we're just going to pretend like this is a column. Now this date column, one of the really important things to know about the date is that you're going to want to have it in a consistent format. And this is important because however you decide to do your date, you want the attorney to be able to search that date and find it anywhere within your chronology. So what do I mean by this? I mean, you don't want to have some, let's see, today is 2/12. So I don't want to have some like this, right? And then others like this. And then others like this, or even with an O2, right? Any of these, I could, and there's many other formats. All of them are great, but if I go between them, or even do like a February 12th, 2025, right? All of these are fine, but none of them are consistent if I'm using them interchangeably. And so what happens is when the attorney goes to search for a date, he's not going to be able to find all the dates because they're all over the place in the formatting. So pick a format and stick with it. The second thing that should go into a great chronology is going to be the providers. Who took care of the client, as we call them in legal nurse consulting, during this particular encounter? And it doesn't have to be all of them. If you watch my other video about how to know what's relevant, not all providers are relevant to the case. So pick the ones that are most relevant to the case. And providers might be doctors, PAs, MPs, chiro, nurses. It could be anyone who took care of the patient, including things like PTOT or social work or wound care. And so you're going to want to identify who it was in that encounter who was taking care of the client at that time. The third thing, this is pretty important. You want to have the medical facts, right? So in this column, you're going to have all the facts of the case laid out for the attorney. And again, I have a whole nother video on this, but you want to make sure that the facts you're putting in are relevant. So there's no need to put all the medical facts in, just the medical facts that are going to help or harm the case. Another thing in the medical facts, you're going to want to find some sort of format that you keep consistently. Now, again, in Catalyst, we have a format that we teach. It's very specific. We teach you down to when to bold, when to hit enter, when to capitalize. But you'll have to find your own format if you choose not to join us in Catalyst, where I can coach and mentor you every step. You have to find your own format, but keep a consistent format. Consistency is really key when you're writing a really good chronology. So keep that consistent format. Another thing that I teach in Catalyst is you'll want to find a way to somehow highlight essential findings. So those might be called red flags or highlights or whatever you want to call them. Nobody cares. But you're going to want to find some way to really have the important parts of the case stand out to the attorney. I'll teach you a couple of ways to do that inside of the Catalyst community. The fourth thing that you're going to want to ensure is in a great chronology, and this one is super important, is a comment section. Now, we spend months and months and months talking about these things in Catalyst, and it takes a long time to get them right. It's why when you join Catalyst, we give you 3 practice cases and multiple reviews of your work and give you individualized feedback to help you grow and learn how to do this the right way. But this comment section is going to be super important. In this comment section, you're going to want to give a number of things. You might be giving your opinions. You might be giving explanation. You might be linking articles and research. You might be doing illustrations. There's a number of things in the comment section that can be very important, and learning how to do that the right way so that it flows well and really educates your attorney is gold. The last thing that you're going to want to have in a high quality, top tier chronology is the reference. So where the heck did you get this information from? The attorney's going to want to know, where did you get the information that I'm looking at here so I can go back and look at it myself? There's a number of ways to do that. You might have heard of bait stamping, which is fine if you want to bait stamp. Personally, I don't bait stamp. I don't find a ton of value in it. I do have some attorneys who want us to bait stamp. If it's already bait stamped, then I will follow that procedure of referencing it as the bait stamp that's already on there, but I don't do bait stamping. There's a whole another thing about it. Basically, it takes all the records. You'll have 10 different PDFs, and you'll have a specific individualized page number in consecutive order across all 10 PDFs versus 100 in this one, 300 in that one, 200 in this one. It's a great little process, but I don't personally go through the process of bait stamping. Instead, what I do recommend doing is finding a way to tell them which PDF and which page number that particular entry was on, or page numbers. This way, the attorney can find whatever they're looking for in that entry. They can go right to the records, into that PDF, to the right page number, and find exactly what you were talking about when you wrote this entry. If you have these things in your chronology, and you do it in a way that is professional, it's easy, that flows, that's consistent, then you'll have at least a decent work product. Now, creating a top tier work product is going to take a little more work, and you're going to have a lot more training and understanding of how to do that. Again, we teach you that in Catalyst, but if you're going to try to do this on your own, this will at least get you started and give you some spot that more than anything else you can find out there on the web of where exactly to go to start writing a great chronology. Guys, I hope this helped you out. If you found this valuable or informative, how about subscribe to my channel? That way you don't miss any of my future education and trainings. Also, you can check out our free introductory training and learn more about Catalyst and what we do by clicking the link that's either in the description or in the first comment that's pinned down below. And lastly, be sure to check out my other video, How to Become a Legal Nurse Consultant.